YouTube, and welcome to another Guild Ball match report. Got a great one with our old friend Michael here, who's taking the Masons into my Alchemists. So I'm running Midas Flask, VCAT, Crucible, Kami, and Venom, and Michael's taking Corbelli, Marbles, Vet Harmony, Vet Chisel, Brick, and Flint. So classic matchup, Michael and I, old friends. Glad he was in town for the Kingdom Cup, and we got a game afterwards. So for the Alchemists, we are playing a 2-2 game plan. One, we want to exploit the low defense with our cool ball tech. So a lot of defense. 3, Great Balls of Fire is going to be great against that. 2, VCAT is going to do work here. He's got to take out Flint and the strikers and keep everybody who's threatening a goal basically dead. And 3, timing our goals is going to be really important too. We are playing a 2-2, but as you're going to see, we're going to have to flex. We got to be flexible about our plan. We got to know when to take our goals, and we've got to try to keep the ball out of the Masons' hands as long as possible because of the Corbelli rule. So it's going to be quite a challenge. Now, for the Masons, they're going for a 3-0 plan, but again, they have to also be flexible because they're the Masons. And in the 3-0 plan, the idea here is to score early, like you know from the other videos, really kind of get that lead and protect it. 2, they want to use that awesome Masons defensive tech with Vet Harmony, Vet Chisel, and Brick. You have some of the best, just big defensive block there to protect the middle of the field. Keep the threats contained. Trying to keep them away from the strikers who are going to be scoring goals. And 3, really keeping that lead on momentum. So Masons with their cool low playbook momentum. Very useful stuff at the bottom of their playbook, and they get to keep high momentum leads. Now, I know you're looking at the screen and you can see the arm of the recorder there. We had to film this outside. It was a very bright day. That's the angle of the arm. I apologize. I'm going to try to make it not get in the way. But this was a really fun game. Like I said, Michael and I, this is the classic matchup. Michael, the classic Masons player. I'm back with Alchemists. Yeah, I miss rerolls, guys. I do. I love this team. You know, I'm an Alchemist player. You guys have watched a lot of my Alchemist games, and Midas has been for many years my captain of choice. But let's jump into this. It looks like I'm kicking off with Crucible, so let's speed up the tape. Okay, the arm on the bottom isn't too bad. Hopefully it doesn't annoy you guys too much. But Crucible goes ahead and kicks it into the far corner there where there's a barrier. And we see the allocation there. I think it's 3 on Flint, 3 on Marbles, 3 on Corbelli, and then the rest kind of divided between Vet Harmony and Vet Chisel. So here comes Flint. He's going to jog. Where'd they go? And then I think it's a sprint where'd they go, because that was a pretty deep kick. Kick over to Vet Harmony. He's going to making space. With Vet Harmony, I basically just walk up with Flasky Beaker Keeper. He's walked up with Marbles, and he's also, it looks like he's doing more making space. And now Corbelli has the ball, and I've got Venom upfield too with Poison on him. So he's trying to figure out, is he ready to go in? Not quite yet. I pull my Midas up, do a little bit of Lure of Gold to get VCAT into position, and now here comes the lineup for the Corbelli goal. And he's trying to triangulate this out. He moves, Vet Chisel moves some more influence over to Corbelli, and she gets into position there as well. And I'm kind of measuring against the counter charge here. And I could actually try to go in and snake the ball from Corbelli, but I decided against it. Probably a mistake. I probably actually should have done that. But I'm going to come around here with Kami. And I'm going to go ahead and engage. It looks like, I believe that's Vet Chisel who's engaging Venom. It looks like I leap forward and then come all the way around and go into Marbles here, and I'm putting some Fire and Poison on Corbelli and Vet Chisel. It gets me some momentum, and it kind of locks down the monkey there And then it looks like I probably should have stayed with the monkey, but I pull back and stay in with that chisel. So he does some making space with Corbelli to get Brick into the play, and then this is really, he's going to come in, try and get some swings on, I believe, Venom, because Venom is back down to 4 armor. He gets the dodge that he needs, and it moves him into VCat. So staring down VCat with Corbelli. He tries to kick a goal and misses. He misses a 4-die goal. It's pretty tragic for both of us, if I'm being honest with you, because I don't want to go back and get that ball. I'm ready to jail Corbelli and do my full 2-2. Doesn't quite work that way. But I do have a VCat who's basically standing on business there. But I move in with Crucible first. I figure, the ball's going to sit back there for a while. Let's get into Corbelli, maybe do a little bit of damage on him to get him in, prepped for the VCat treatment that's about to happen. And it looks like Brick is going to come in and charge Venom, who was marked. I forgot to mention that V Harmony did that, put a marked target up. And he's going to do, Brick is going to do a little repositioning on Venom, a little bit of damage and some knockdown on him and Midas. So Midas goes down, Venom is on the ground too. Kind of nice work there from Brick, but I still have a whole mean VCat there looking to go. And I thought about coming a little bit closer, but I did leave the monkey out. That was bad. If I had left Kami on the monkey, I could have gotten into a really great position to just blow people up. That was my mistake. But I'm going to go into Corbelli, and I think it's Corbelli and Brick, and I do a little bit of damage. My dice are horrible this game, and they're going to be horrible all game. I can't complain too much because Michael just missed a 4-die goal. But yeah, the dice kind of hurt this game. But I end up doing a bunch of damage, leaving a bunch of conditions, leaving Corbelli on, I think, 1 or 2. And I've got a bunch of momentum. Win the turn. Load up VCat to go again. So it looks like VCat is gonna... Looks like we're figuring out our turn. I've got a few on Midas, 1 on Venom. Crucible and Kami have a few too. I never felt like I had enough influence this game, and I'm actually worried that I didn't allocate enough, but I think I'm okay. Anyways, I'm measuring this to see if, VCat can do anything mean. What I should have done, like I said, if I had left Kami where she was with the monkey, this is I really could have just blown the entire hole out of these players. I could have killed possibly V Chisel and Corbelli at the same time, but I do take Corbelli out, putting me up 2-0. And the rest of this turn is really just going to be pretty scrummy, and then if I'm being honest with you, the rest of this game ends up being pretty scrummy. But here comes Brick. He's going to put some more work into, it looks like Midas. He goes into Midas early, and then he goes into VCat, pushes VCat into the play. So that's the danger, right? If Kami had just kept with the monkey and VCat had walked around, I could have been in a much better position to get the 2 takeouts this turn. But anyways, we go back into the scrum. VCat is starting to take a lot of damage, and we've got some, it looks like some attacks from that Chisel. And she continues to work on VCat, but they're taking damage too. They've got a bunch of conditions on them, and they're taking a bunch of damage. She pulls herself in there, and then we've got 4 on Vet Harmony. So the idea, it's a great idea for Michael, is if he can just live long enough, Vet Harmony can go in there and undo a bunch of condition work. So it looks like I'm going to go in with Venom, do a little bit more damage to Brick, and then Heroic onto Brick and V Chisel and do some damage on them. So that's nice work there by Venom, just with 1 influence. However, it leaves me without momentum. Monkey's going to reposition for counter charge because Monkey wants to make sure that Kami is not going to get a great attack here. Now, I'm not really worried about Kami right now, but and then it looks like Crucible's going to go in, add some crowd outs, just keep conditions onto Brick. Just trying to load up on Brick. I've got a lot of models crowding out Brick, and he's taking a fair bit of damage. But Michael's doing his best to heal Brick, and with that tough hide, you know, those are some really good value heals. Michael's measuring it out to see if he can get to the ball. He can't. Flint is just going to be in position, basically snapshot position in case something opens up soon. Meanwhile, the assault on Brick continues. And the assault on the cat continues as well. And so I'm not exactly sure what we're measuring here. Oh, here comes Kami. Kami's going to do some more damage to Brick. And then she's going to snap up the ball. And I think about it for a second. I think about maybe passing the ball to Midas. But we're not going to do that. So I actually just burn the influence. I just don't care. I probably could have gotten a little bit more momentum out of it. But here comes Vet Harmony. And Vet Harmony this is one of the better activations I've seen from a Vet Harmony. Really just going to pile on with that assist chisel. And she is going to take out Vet Cat, which is great because that would have been more damage had she not taken out Vet Cat. Scores 2-2. And he's got a gigantic pile of momentum going to the next turn, but people are starting to get hurt. So I don't think I have any. I think we're moving into the next turn here. And so I'm pretty sure Michael's gonna win turn. And I'm in a good spot. So Michael's going to win turn. I'm going to take an armor off of Brick with my card. And I'm going to bring VCat back onto the board. And VCat is actually in position to hit Brick again. So, and I think I actually win turn again with VCat. So we both had big old piles of momentum that turn. VCat's going to come in. He will gravity well. And I'm just going to start to do work on Brick. And again, I'm rolling 8, 9, 10. I'm rolling like 11 dice. And I'm not kidding. I'm getting like really terrible results. I got like 5 or 6 ones on one of these rolls. It's just bad. It was really bad. I do end up taking Brick out. So that puts the Alchemists up to 4. He's measuring to see if Flint can get in there, but he doesn't have enough influence allocated to Flint, and he doesn't have enough allocated to Corbelli. So it looks like I am going to go in with Venom and then just do a little bit more damage and then splash the heroic again. And then I think they end up yeah, it looks like V Chisel and the monkey, they start to pull Venom in. So the idea here is, okay, well, Masons don't have the ball. They don't have the best way of getting to the ball. Let's give Corbelli with the reactive, I forget V Chisel's ability. Let's move the influence over to give Corbelli enough. But what I do is I then counter with Kami, who passes the ball over to Midas, and Midas is going to dodge into that giant crowd of Alchemists there and just make it very ugly to try to get for Corbelli to get in there and get the ball. So Michael decides to continue to work on Venom, and he's scoring all kinds of really good damage on 4-2. So 4-2, but Michael's dice are pretty hot. Venom's taking a bunch of damage. I decide now is the time to start the goal party, since I have 2 takeouts, so I can stay in the lead. I should also point out, and I'm not sure how this happened, but I am gonna be clocking out here pretty soon, if not already. But we decided to just play it through because why not? I don't know. Let's just see. I think I left my clock on for too long or something, or I'm just thinking too hard. That could be the other part of it. So Midas goes in, scores the goal. Ball snaps back over to Corbelli, and now Michael he's thinking about, should he take a goal? And he decides against it because he thinks, okay, well, if he takes a goal, all I have to do is take a snapback goal with Crucible, and that's game. Instead, and that strategy would have worked if we were talking clock out here, because I'm clocked out. You could have just let me fully clock out and score the game. But anyway, so without the ball this turn, I'm going to go ahead with Crucible. Start to put in some work on Vet Harmony and V Chisel there, get them set up for the following turn. So we flexed now. I'm fully flexing into a 1-4 plan, and Michael's flexed into a 2-2 plan. So what I said at the beginning of the game, that is really not the case now, with the score being 8-4. And I forget who is getting this turn. I believe I still have the turn. I believe, yeah. So I just end up V Chisel went down, so now it's just I end up taking out V Chisel, taking the Alchemist up to 10. Again, crap rolling, but Brick is back in the game. Brick is going to do a bunch of damage, get Crucible out of the play, and try to save Harmony's life, basically. But the rest of this just sort of grinds down to us just doing the final damage onto V Harmony. So it's a lot of back and forth. Healing Harmony trying to heal herself. She's in such a bad crowd out that she ends up throwing a couple of attacks on Flask. And I think 2 out of the 3 attacks miss, which is pretty horrible. So, Michael's dice, now he's only rolling 3 dice on 3-2. That's the other thing I should point out. So he ends up getting a little bit of influence back, but there's at this point, it's just going to be very rough. Harmony's left on just, I think, 4 health. And I need to, after this is the attacks on Flasks, that most of which did not work. So I need to go in with Midas. I have 4 on Midas, so I jog where to go. And then it's 3 attacks on, I think, 8 or even 9 dice, just to do 4 damage. It's quite a bit. But he ends up finishing the game. That's going to do it. It was a long slog and a great game, but I was really excited to play it. Thanks, Michael, for coming into town and playing again, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.